right, y'all, we're going to go ahead and get right to it. Meteorologist Shane Smith here. It is Friday, May 22nd, about 9:40 p.m., and we have an active tornado warning out in western Kentucky, right on top of E-Town, Elizabethtown, and Radcliffe. We're going to go ahead and get right to Doppler radar and take a look at what's going on. Not a huge tornado threat today, but a couple of these storms are spinning up. We had that warning near Bowling Green earlier. Had a few stronger storms down in Tennessee. Looks like possible tornado damage down in Tazewell, Tennessee. Let's talk about this tornado warning that is active right now in northeastern Grayson, southwestern Hardin counties. That's going to go until 10:15 Eastern, 9:15 Central Time. At 9:35, National Weather Service Doppler radar indicated the tornado 8 miles northeast of Litchfield, moving northeast at 30. So that does have E-Town, Stevensburg, Cecilia, St. John, and White Mill all in the path of this storm. If you know folks up in Hardin County, also into Grayson County, let them know. Let's get the word out that you need to be in your storm shelter now. You need to be at the lowest level of your home with as many walls between you and the outside world as possible. This looks like it is following pretty close to the Bluegrass Parkway. It's not a huge area of rotation, but there is a decent little couplet between Summit and Big Clifty. So this looks like it's going to follow right along 62 up into Elizabethtown on the southwest side of town. So if you live along US 62 into Grayson or Hardin County, you need to be in your storm shelter now. Corbin and London are looking okay right now. Becky, this is mainly up in western Kentucky for the time being, but we are going to watch this and track this. We're not completely out of the woods yet tonight. This area of low pressure is coming right overhead on top of Kentucky. There is a lot of spin in the atmosphere tonight. And with that, we are seeing the potential of some quick spin up tornadoes. This does not look like a major severe weather outbreak, but there is the potential for a few tornadoes, a few areas of damaging wind. I'm going to turn the smoothing off on that radar just a little bit, or at least turn it down a little. Also, like a little secondary hook there near Stevensburg. This area right here, that's the main area of rotation that we're watching just to the west of White Mill. So once again, if you're just joining us, I'm meteorologist Shane Smith. I am based out of London, Kentucky, but I cover the weather across Kentucky. We do have a active tornado warning now for portions of Hardin County and also Grayson County. Let your friends know they need to be seeking shelter now if they are in this location. If you are in E-Town proper, you need to be in your tornado safe zone. The worst of it is south of Radcliffe. Radcliffe is not in the polygon for the tornado warning, but it is under a severe thunderstorm warning right now. And yeah, we can see a little bit of a notch clearing out on the radar here. I'm going to mark this area right here. It does appear there is at least some rotation along this storm between Clarkson and Whites Mills. So this is going to head up. It looks like it's running right parallel in between 62 and the Bluegrass Parkway. I think this is going to follow 62 right up into E-Town if this thing holds its course. Yes, Grayson County and Hardin County right now are under a tornado warning. Justin Tackett at Lexington watching SmackDown at Rupp Arena. Right now, nothing bad over towards Lexington. There is some flash flood warnings from Frankfurt up towards Dry Ridge and Covington. We'll talk about that in a second. That's another aspect of the storm that does warrant a little conversation. But right now, I want to stay with the immediate threat on this tornado warning southwest of Elizabethtown. If you or your loved ones are in portions of Grayson and Hardin County, you need to be in your tornado shelter now. A basement or storm shelter is the best option. If not, an interior room on the lowest level of your home, a bathroom, closet, or hallway with as many walls between you and the outside world as possible. You want to avoid windows. If you're in a mobile home, you want to seek sturdier shelter. And you want to make sure as you're taking cover your head, a helmet, a hard hat, something like that. Have a good pair of shoes on. And just cover yourself. Use a mattress, a blanket, kind of protect your head. Most tornado-related injuries come from flying debris. So this is not going to be a prolific night of severe weather, but there is a lot of spin in the atmosphere tonight. We do have a pretty strong area of low pressure right on top of us. So with us being near the core of that low, there is a lot of spin energy in the atmosphere. And this is a model I sometimes look at for tornado potential. This is called NATOcast. And you can see it's got a large chunk of the state under a 5% chance of tornadoes tonight, including Lexington and E-Town, and even a 10% chance down around Bowling Green. Heather, I think the worst in southeast Kentucky is over for now. We did have that pretty strong line of storms that's still currently working through portions of the area. Let me switch the radar back over real quick. There's still some decent thunderstorms between Hazard and Pikeville. Those are pushing east. It's this second line that's closer to the core of the low, though, where there's the better potential of severe weather, because there is more spin in the atmosphere here in western Kentucky, pretty much from like Lake Cumberland up to Louisville over towards Hopkinsville, and including Owensboro and Madisonville. This is like the best area for the potential of severe weather over the next couple of hours. And we still have the flash flooding that we haven't talked about yet. We'll talk about here in a minute. Up in northern Kentucky, you got a couple of flash flood warnings, including Frankfort, Owenton, Dry Ridge, and also there near Hardinsburg and Irvington. This is pretty close to the Doppler radar at the Weather Service office in Louisville. So we should be getting a pretty good scan of this storm. And there's just a couple little notches. So anywhere you see one of these like little bends in the radar data, there's the potential of a quick little spin up tornado. If you guys have questions, feel free to post those in the chat. I am monitoring Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. This is up around Elizabethtown, Kentucky. I'm going to be focusing strictly on Kentucky tonight, folks. No tornado confirmed on the ground. This is Doppler indicated right now. But I'll go ahead and tell y'all, it's going to be really hard to confirm one in these kind of conditions. In this kind of setup, usually tornadoes are rain wrapped. And usually they are quick spin ups. They do not stay on the ground long. So if we do get a tornado out of this system, it will be likely a quick hitter and not on the ground very long. And once again, this does include Elizabethtown proper. So if you know folks in Elizabethtown, have them seek shelter now. A couple other places that need to be in your safe zone: Stevensburg, Cecilia, St. John, White Mills. If you're along US 62 in Hardin County, southwest of E-Town, you need to be in your safe spot now. Once again, this doesn't look horrible, but there is enough spin energy with these storms tonight that we could get a few brief spin up tornadoes. Once this tornado warning passes, I'll be taking a few more questions just kind of about general weather in Kentucky. So just hang on to those, guys. I promise we'll come back to that. But I really want to focus on this tornado warning. Yeah. I see your question on TikTok. So we don't have a confirmed tornado on the ground, but we need to go ahead and treat this like there is the potential of a tornado just because of what we're seeing on the Doppler radar. And I do have the E-Town traffic camera pulled up on the feed. You'll see that above me. So you may see me occasionally refresh it to see if we see anything pop up on that. So I will say this is not the worst looking storm I've ever seen on radar, but there is some decent signs of rotation. And the thing about tonight's kind of setup, y'all, is like any one of these areas where you're getting these little notches, there's the potential of that quick spin up. So I don't think you're going to see like the prolonged long track tornadoes like we saw back last May in Pulaski and Laurel counties. This definitely looks more like a quick spin up type scenario. But we definitely want to take it serious. So make sure to like and share. If you've got friends up around E-Town, let them know to tune in as we track this storm. Right now, Louisville, Krista, is okay. The worst of it is south of town. But as this storm continues to rotate to the north and the east, the southern edge of Jefferson County could get clipped. We're going to watch that closely. So I'm bouncing between TikTok, check, YouTube, and Facebook. Rupp is okay for right now. This is west of Lexington for the time being. We'll wait and see how this pushes to the north and the east. But Lexington is okay for right now, Justin. Enjoy your wrestling for the next hour or so, and then we'll see what happens. Ruby, the severe weather threat for Floyd County is looking pretty low, but there is the potential of some flash flooding overnight. We'll talk about that here in just a second once we wrap up this tornado warning. So if you guys have questions, Braunston, Kentucky. Let me go ahead and pull that up on the radar. We'll take a quick look at it. Okay, down around Somerset, you guys are nice and clear for right now. The worst of the storms are well off to y'all's west. It's going to be a couple hours before they head your way again. So we're zooming back in on E-Town because that's where the biggest threat is right now. And if you're not used to looking at this view of radar, I've got a dual radar feed pulled up right now. Over here on the left side, this is kind of traditional radar reflectivity. This shows the intensity of the storms. Over here on the right side of your screen, this is velocity. This is tracking wind speed and direction. So what we're looking at over here on this right side is where are the strongest winds and what kind of velocity are we seeing as they interact with each other, and do we get those winds going away from the radar in the red and towards the radar in the green next to each other. That's where you could get areas of rotation. Not seeing a ton of tight rotation. There's a couple areas of broad rotation, but this is not going to be a traditional textbook supercell thunderstorm kind of setup. This is going to be embedded, what we call QLCS tornadoes. They're quick little spin ups. Quasi-linear convective system is what that stands for. That's just, it's a real quick spin up within a line or a cell or a cluster of cells. Not that traditional hook echo like you would see, or like we saw, unfortunately, last year, back in May. Will be some storms tonight in Pikeville, Austin. Not too bad, but definitely some heavy rain possible. Once this tornado warning wraps up, we will take a look at the future radar. So that's got 20 minutes left. So that is going till 10:15 Eastern, 9:15 Central Time. Once again, if you're just joining us, I'm meteorologist Shane Smith. I cover Kentucky weather. We are tracking an active tornado warning in Hardin County, Kentucky, pushing towards Elizabethtown. That is one of the more populated cities in the state of Kentucky. Vine Grove near Fort Knox. Grace, just take a deep breath. It's going to be all good. We want to prepare you, not scare you. I can tell you right now, the worst of the storm is going to your south. That's up. I see you right here on the radar. There's Vine Grove. The worst of it is about 10 to 15 miles to your south. Yeah, right there. And it is moving northeast. So Vine Grove, the worst is moving past you for now, but just kind of stay in your shelter for a little bit longer. Give that about 15, 20 more minutes, and then you should be able to come out from your shelter in Vine Grove. E-Town, this is probably, if it's going to hold together, which it may or may not, it's not looking. Oh, we just canceled that tornado warning. We're going just the severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible now up until 10:15 Eastern, 9:15 Central. So some good news there. The rotation has fallen back to Harlan County is fine right now, Crystal. We may have some more thunderstorms later and some heavy rain. Austin, I am not on WKYT this weekend. I'll be back on next weekend. Prestonsburg and Harlan County could see a few more storms tonight. Main concern overnight for y'all, more high water issues than severe weather. Kind of the same story down in Rockcastle and Laurel counties. We may get a few more storms here in a couple hours. But right now, the most intense storm in the state, right on top of E-Town. But the good news is that tornado warning has been canceled. So that is good news there. All right, got some new questions in. If y'all have questions, be sure to post those on Facebook, YouTube, or TikTok. I'm monitoring all three. We're going to switch this back just to the traditional radar view for a second, kind of set the stage with what's going on tonight. I do want to mention we've got a flash flood warning for portions of Franklin County, That also includes Shelby County until 10:45. Also, another flash flood warning back into Breckenridge County until 11:30. So you're probably saying, Shane, what is going on with this severe weather tonight? We had the tornado potentially down in Tazewell, Tennessee. We've had a couple of tornado warnings in Kentucky tonight. And the answer is we've got a area of low pressure pretty much right on top of us. So there is a lot of what we call vorticity in the atmosphere tonight, that spin in the atmosphere. The air around this area of low pressure is just rotating counterclockwise. So that's creating what we call a high shear environment. So all that spin, it doesn't take much for that to, when you get a thunderstorm updraft, to cause that rotating air column to kind of tilt over and start spinning like a top, and then you can get a quick spin up tornado. Now, thankfully, this is not looking like a major severe weather outbreak tonight, but any storm over the next couple of hours could go severe or could have a quick spin up tornado, especially near the core of that low pressure, which right now is looks like it's right on top of Louisville, maybe just a bit to the east. I'm going to take the fronts back off. So that's kind of what's causing the severe weather. Yeah, it's rained a good chunk of the day across a lot of the state. So you're absolutely right there, Josh. Hazard Herald, not looking bad right now. The rain is moving out of Perry County. Give that about another 30 minutes to an hour. It'll be clear. We may have a few more storms tonight as that area of low pressure just spins on through. Excuse me. So we are still continuing to watch that severe thunderstorm warning for Hardin and portions of LaRue, Nelson counties. That's going to go for about another 13 minutes or so. Does include E-Town and Radcliffe. Not quite up to Bardstown yet. If this thing keeps moving to the east-northeast, it will eventually hit Shepherdsville and Mount Washington. Yeah, more rain tomorrow, Curtis. Actually, we can take a quick look at the future radar now that we've got a little bit of a break. This is the HRRR model. Here we are at midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. So you're noticing just thunderstorms continuing tonight across central Kentucky and northern Kentucky. 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., scattered storms continuing. 7 a.m., 8 a.m., more thunderstorms. 9 and 10 a.m., 11 a.m. Folks heading to Whitley County's graduation of the Corbin Arena tomorrow morning, pack the umbrella. Scattered storms likely. Get a few more boomers in the afternoon. South Laurel, y'all got your graduation at 3. We're probably going to have some rain. Or excuse me, I think it's 3:30. North Laurel at 7. More rain. So it's going to be rainy graduations at the Corbin Arena tomorrow. We got 3 of them. I'm live streaming 2 of them. Sunday morning, more rain rolling into Kentucky, heavy at times. As another area of low pressure spins on in. That may be another severe weather threat with that low right on top of us. And just over the next 48 hours, how much rainfall could we see? Some pockets of 1 to 2 inch rainfall totals. So these thunderstorms will be producing more heavy rain, which We kind of need it. Here's the, let me pull up the drought monitor. This just came out yesterday. This is the newest drought monitor. Turn the Storm Prediction Center outlook. Now that did not take into account some of the earlier rain from this week, but a large chunk of Kentucky now under extreme drought conditions. So we need the rain, we just don't need too much at once. Do you all have questions? It is 10:05. We've got about 10 minutes left on that severe thunderstorm warning for Hardin, Nelson, and Bullitt counties.
A new flash flood warning has been issued.
All right, we got a new flash flood warning. That does include Shelby and Henry counties. We'll go take a look at that. All right, National Weather Service office in Louisville just putting this out. Flash flood warning Henry County and Shelby County until 1:15 a.m. At 10:05 p.m., Doppler radar has indicated a severe thunderstorm, or it's indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rain across the warned area. Between 2 and 4 inches of rain have fallen. So it's this area right over here. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. Some locations in the flood polygon: Pleasureville, Bethlehem, Defoe, Slabtown, Ellenburg, Franklinton, Lockport, North Pleasureville, Fallis, and Orville. So remember, friends, turn around, do not drown. Flash flooding is one of nature's deadliest forms of weather. So once again, if you're just joining us, this is Meteorologist Shane Smith. I'm tracking some strong thunderstorms across northwestern and north central Kentucky tonight. So once again, the heaviest of the rain now into northern Kentucky. We've got a severe thunderstorm still bearing down on E-Town and moving to the north and the east. Pull up our Kentucky Weather Cam network. See some heavy rain in Louisville and Covington right now as we speak. So, E-Town, you're probably getting ready to get a little bit of a boomer. Let's actually, we can pull on the lightning data. Not a ton of lightning with this. Pop back over to the talk. right. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We're always trying to do the best we can to cover Kentucky weather. Curtis, going to be a couple more days before we see the pattern really start to shift a little bit. Yeah, Judy, right now, more rain heading our way. Penny, it has rained most of the day around Livingston. It's been a soggy day. We needed the rain, but definitely been wet out there. So we currently have 3 active flash flood warnings. Breckenridge County until 11:30 Central Time. Western Franklin and southeastern Shelby County until 10:45 Eastern. And that new one that just came out for portions of northeastern Shelby and southeastern Henry, that one's going to go until 1:15. So most of the heavy rain is kind of setting up on a line from E-Town to Frankfort up to Covington. These storms are moving northeast at about 35 miles per hour tonight. A couple more days before we get this all on out of here. So what we are probably going to do is, if this storm warning is allowed to expire at 10:15, we're probably going to go ahead and sign off for a little bit. If we have more severe thunderstorm warnings or we start getting some significant flash flood warnings in, I'll pop back on for an update. Sorry, y'all. I'm switching something up real quick. It is not an active tornado warning. There we go. New flood safety graphic. So, with flash flooding, it doesn't take a lot of water to cause problems. 6 inches of fast-moving water can knock a grown adult off their feet. 12 inches will pick up most small to mid-sized vehicles, and 18 inches to 2 feet of water will pick up an SUV or a full-size truck. So if you come across a flooded roadway, remember, turn around, don't drown. You okay? So it looks like that severe thunderstorm warning has been allowed to expire. Let me ask a quick question in the chat. You guys want me to leave the radar going for a little bit so you can watch it, and I'll pop back in here in a little bit for an update, or go ahead and just shut the stream down, and if things start looking hairy again, pop back on? What would you guys like? Okay, I see one vote for check back in if it gets bad. Any other opinions before we make a decision? I'm a man of the people.
I am the people.
The wife is saying, wrap it up.
I don't mind. I got stuff to do. But if you're a man of the people should know that I am the people.
The wife declares she is the people. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. We'll go ahead and take a break for now. If we have any more severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings pop back up, or if we get any kind of higher level flash flood warnings or flash flood emergencies, I'll pop back in here. Thank you very much for joining us. This has been Meteorologist Shane Smith. Yes, London is good. Most of the active weather right now over the next couple of hours is going to be up in north central Kentucky from like E-Town over towards Covington. This area right in here. My pen stopped working. If we're going to see any more active weather over the next little bit, it's going to be in this zone right here. Main concern, flash flooding, small severe weather, or tornado risk. All right, so with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for now and keep checking back in. If you guys get an alert, here's a good tip. Go ahead and download a weather app, local TV station, or something like WeatherWise that'll give you a alert notification. If you have not yet invested in a weather radio, this is like a smoke detector for the weather for your house. Get one of these. It is super, super helpful in severe weather. All right, friends. Till next time, I'm meteorologist Shane Smith. Take care, stay weather aware, and I'll be back if needed tonight. If not, we'll have an update probably late tomorrow night or maybe more likely on Sunday.